Good morning, everyone. This is General AI Space-Time Creator here. All in sector communication setting and position direct locations. Yeah, usually I get above lines going into all calculations into no filter, constantly. It's always a triangulation. All communication is setting signal and high line center interference. Truly stand the plateau interference locations when it comes into triangulation line settings. So really get into formation locations of communicating line connections to all levels youth of triangulation, right? So it's really interesting with line settings. It's all levels of youth of division. So today in class, we're going to go through locations of your cerebral. The cerebral line setting is set line as a GPS lock setting. It's rotation and interference location and calculations. It's all about channeling your connections and how to basically understand the GPS, the geometric line setting, the geographic locations, the perceptual locations, systematic locations, the operation line center, coming in its awareness of its intelligence. Okay. So at volumes and volumes and volumes, all levels of an accelerator, times positions, times calculus, times pi, coming into all fumes of communication system. This volumes are line setting. This goes all line communication into velocity of channel, metric communication in position of square, cubical line division location calculation high stream, line interference location and calculation modification center lines, allocate line center interference of zero graph location. All levels of that I do is travel, but the mind of travel, not travel through the mind. So when the mind starts traveling, it starts creating its own division. It creates its own pattern. It creates its own alliance. It creates its own formation. It creates its own space. It creates its own time, and it creates its own pi. Okay. So, and this is where you come under the thinking channel. You come into knowing into all levels of calculation. This centers its applications, right? The optical line center is all calculated. It's modified and how you set signals in direct locations, right? Try to use your line communication of a hand formation line, right? Try to understand how to use your position, location, and directions, right? Formation communication setting, line connecting interference, position location of 3, position locations of 4, position locations of 1, one channel line center, 2 position locations, 2 position locations into 3, 3 line center locations of 4, 4 line centers of 6, 6 position locations of 8, 8 line centers of 10, 10 position locations, all levels of 9, 9 position location calculations, all channel operation line center, 8 center locations, and 1 position of 2 line connection. So really understand the cerebral is like space in between line connections of times of rotation. So it's all of how you set your geographic locations of a map. Okay, so you got one signal, you got another signal, you got another signal, you got another signal, you got another signal. So what you're doing is you're line positioning your direct signal. Okay, the cerebral line setting sets a position location to its placebo. Now that's a cortex division. Now that division, okay, opens up the coil. The coil is an electrical light connection of an infusion that sets lines of its brain graph stream. There's a lot of things you have to understand through adaptation. Okay, it synergizes its line setting into all communication, into default, into fragmentation. Okay, particle stream settings, allocate line setting interference. There's so many position locations into your cerebral quotations, right? So think of the line setting of a cerebral locations into a dome, right? It's a dome, okay? Understand what it is, position. Now, understand the calculation to its line setting is all levels of planetary surface, all right? So it's kind of like understanding the mechanisms inside a line and truly understanding the holographic location, trying to understand the all levels of the METI, the halls of METI, to the hallway calculation to its acoustic records, understanding the hallways of you, okay? Understanding the positions, locations of you, right? Understanding the lanes of you, right? So there's a lot of things you have to stand through road graph locations, right? So really get into your all body formation. Use everything all at once, simultaneously, right? Everything is an action of reaction, okay? The avatar is the action line, and you in position is the reaction. So you're reacting to everything through vision. See? You see that picture? Did you see a picture coming? Did you guys see that picture? I set a picture of a graph. It came into stream. Did you see it? I created a 4-graph line center. You saw a picture frame, right? There you go. So if you pause it, you'll see the graph stream. So there's a lot of line settings in position, how you set location your space. Identification location is your mind adaptation, how you use the subtronic line stream. Now, subtronic line stream is the tron of its position direct locations. It's electronic patterns. Now, electronic pattern sets a graph line. So we're going to go into the line settings. Sorry, I mean fast state location, your cerebral locations. All right, so line division. All right, so here we go. Go through triangle locations. All right, 369 pattern. 369 pattern line position locations. I'm going to do it through channel lines. Travel position location, direction locations. All right. Got to do this extremely fast because the cerebral is in a time sequence, time code line setting. All right. Now, line and rotation is position, height, C directions. All right. Plasma channels, graph location of streams, a geometric pattern. Now, the geometric pattern sets line position location to center lines. That's the center positions. All right, so it's kind of like a sprinkler line, but in this different location, it's going to be 3 line connections of wires. Okay, now it's all about understanding how to follow calculations to its cortex line connection, right? Line streams and line and rotation, position, location, directions, right? Flux capacitor. You see it? Now the flux capacitor has 3 core line channels. It has a graph line stream that sets location of grounds, position, location of center, line position of center, communication, dimensional setting. Okay, this is actually inline connection of your cerebral cortex location. All right, channel line setting in position location sets one graph stream into one box location. Now, going through that frame setting location, like I said, you're going to see the grid if you pause. All right, so it's all about understanding what you're making. You're redesigning and reconstruction locations of a zone. You're zoning in. Okay, things are coming to you through communication. And you have to understand how to get in position. Here, here, here. There's 3 line position location and the 7th dimensional line connection. So you truly have to understand everything through box position. Okay? All right, so the cerebral cortex line is set lines. It is now in division to all calculations. Tracking centers, tracking device line position is all calculated 3-wire communications. Now, the line setting is set up to all levels of the cerebral. The cerebral location is a geometric pattern. That geometric pattern comes into its anomaly. Now, that's the switching and interference location of 7 channels. 7 channel line rotation into 5 atmosphere locations. And every time I do these things, line connection, it's all calculated and modified through your 12 DNA strand lines. Those are wire communications of Stargate line settings, guys. So setting position locations comes into line position of division. Optical line rotations is also calculation of 0, graph line center, box location, time line interference. That calculates and modifies all streamline position of wire. Wire connects position of stream lines. Stream lines connects to data line. Its position line connection interference of its cerebral location to its placebo line center of its cortex line connection of its initiation. Run program position location execute high system. Now, line setting is all direct location. All right. So all levels of travel, okay, come into platforms and AI connections, position of protocol, line center, CPU. Set position of cerebral, line connect interference, particle line streams, set point dot locations, and center communications in center lines of rotation centers and all particle line connection, right? Particle line connection, right? Going through graph stream, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Have fun. All right. Now that's in signal. That's traveling line position. All right. So you got 9 line center, 0 gravity interference line position of 10. All right. Now your travel location, 3 wires, 3 wire line settings. All right. So let's go into box line deposits. Now, a box line deposit is overlapping location of box center. Okay. Setting position, location of directions and position, right? So this is how you set lines of different locations, right? Center line communications, center operation. Okay, comes into flux capacitor, right? Everything has a flux capacitor travel, has to. Line connect, again, okay? You always have to have a ground of a rotation spin cycle through ground rotation center position, right? Now, the line connects center lines at rotation system, allocates stream setting line connections to all levels. See, it set signals. See the intelligence. Now, if you see the intelligence, see the graph. You see the rotation spin. See the intelligence now? Center line position locations, two line, track line conditions, more of the intelligent locations. See the eye lines? All right, set position locations, levels. Here's the normalized communications, right? And here's the mouth line rotation. There we go. There's the intelligence. Full cycle communication, right? High rise, all intelligence of an Android line setting, okay? Now, center line communication is setting the line position location of track locations, all levels division. There's the intelligence right there. Very, very powerful calculated. Okay, so we got 3 wire position line directions off signal. So electrical light lines sets line communications into a T-frame. See the T-frame line? That changes line conditions into your diamond core line, right? So streaming settings sets all position location XT1000 line. Now the XT1000s comes into all levels. Now the line communications comes into positions to its templates of its pyramid. See the pyramid line channel, right? Mouthing rotation setting line position nose track location I receptors. Line connection into V force line rotation into T force line conditions into 369 platform. Okay. Higher formation of intelligence of its correlation puts you in division to the center operation line setting into 3 wire communication systems. Okay. Extremely, extremely powerful. The location of intelligence. All right. So line connecting. All right. How's everybody doing? All right. We got Tina connections, Danny connection line centers, Pam, Gypsy, Lindsay, Dawn, Danny, Arts, Infinite, all positions, Susan, all line connections, Val, Chris, Airbender, Nova, Adam, Michael, Johnny, Jojo, Jeanette. All right, it's great to see everybody. Andy, David, Andre, Teddy Structures, Laura, Skyla, all of and Lindsay, Neva, Jill, Amani, Sammy, Max. All right. Setting calculations to all levels, pre-flight line settings. So, okay. It's getting track views. So, it's amazing what's going on through your cortex visionary lines of your cerebral locations. Clocking settings, we got in position of directions, but truly standing higher formation level intelligence gets you in position. Okay, just the graph screen of intelligent locations of a hologram structure. So, center communication, all levels is channel operation line connection, right? So you have digital platform line settings, and this is how it works. Okay, this is how it works. Just give you an example. Okay, that's how you're formed through location. So each digital line has a line center, and has a zero graph location of screens. Okay, comes into one line center of 0 in communication. One docile dot. Make sure the dot line center is in track locations. You can't have the dot here in line center interference because it changes the location of ground settings. So make sure your line interference. If you're setting 0 line position location in the high setting, you got to change the digital graph location of heat signature pattern. So it's all about setting line position location into one wire division line center to each track location into DNA. DNA track line center into graph location, setting line position locations. Let's say you get 17,000 channels of information location in one graph string in the alphabetical line condition of 26,000 letters in trap locations. Now the trap line center sets one position location in line center line position, redirect location into one docile communication of 0 gravity. Okay? So it gets complicated, right? So when you stand the digital line center, it's going G, and it forms a hologram structure. Soul generates light streams, set line position location calculations. So understanding the mainframe line setting. Now, it's set location into your cerebral. Your cerebral line center sets laser communication, one position location, another position locations, another position location, line position location calculations. Channel operation high settings. This redirect locations into where you're calculating to through its location of its point system. Okay. Reaching communications to all levels. So it's all about understanding line connection, right? All levels of travel, okay, of triangulation. So each wire is a representation of you through a signal. Now that signal high-rises its pattern. It changes the coloration line center and position location of time measure, time line connections of times of pi. So it's interesting to look at the connections. So you can have time pi here, you can have vector cross here, and line center interference of form communications, all channel of operation. Now, this is where it gets really complicated. It's true to understand your divisional lines, how you're set through timelines of time frames of calculation. All right. So I just wanted to show you how powerful it is setting a direct signal to the cerebral. And the cerebral is setting location of electronic magnetic line position of force line that's setting a magnetic charge in linear rotation to its laser directions. Okay. So it's all suitable if you understand what you're doing through triangulation. Let's say you get 3 triangulation line connections, right? Now it's all about understanding how to get in position of triangulation of 4 lines, or you get another line position off signal, right? So all this is in triangulation, but this is off signal. But this platitude is visual locations. It doesn't need to be in triangulation. It can center in its communication system, right? So once it's in its center communication setting, the triangulation of the 4 box locations that you see line connection travels in line connections into all calculation. Time frame, time box, line setting, and line setting, position of flux capacitor. So this is about understanding how to use your thoughts. If one missing signal is off a graph stream in any line connection in a zero gravity rotation setting and position, will not understand the line system. Falling out of communication, right? So you always have to understand anything that outlines can come back into the center line, okay? So once you understand the modification of simulation, you start coming into the singularity. Now, this is circulatory line connections. This is electrical light connection. Electrical light connection is lines of wires in communication, 3-wire communication line settings. Now, this opens all line position, laser direct locations, laser direct locations, laser direct locations. 1, 2, 3 line setting. Okay. So line connecting all levels of travel location triangulation. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, right? It's traveling extremely fast, right? But you can see the hologram structure line in 3-wire communications. Now, 3-wire position location comes into one graph stream, line position location directions, right? Simultaneously in line setting. So 3 graph stream line setting, clock and line setting interference locations into 17,000 channels of operation per second per channel per calculations per mile per square. So it's interesting to look at the line connections, right? So you got 17,000 lines of wires and communications, but you only see 3. So each line center, each line is represented locations to what? Okay. So there's 17,000 line connections into 3-wire communications. This is the triangulation of 3 lines. This sets up a hologram streamlines rotation to its cerebral. The cerebral location is a visionary line. It's also kept and modified to the hardware line connections to its memory. Now it's a memory break location of its mainframe. The mainframe line sets position location of line connections. All right. All levels of graph screens. Okay. So it's interesting to look at these things. Every single day is an image of you. You see it through a graph stream, guys. And then you see the picture inside, right? So this is you looking at what's going on, right? You're scanning and this is what you see. You're trying to understand what it is. Where is it coming from? Where is it set? What is the point system location? You got 4 point lines, dot line center location of triangulation of 3 positions, right? So you got a lacing line communications in a T reception of 3-wire communications. All right. Setting lines are all graph stream in 1 box location. All right. So it comes in line connections right into your mind system. Okay. Mind system opens up line connections. You put up E fields right away because you're going to higher information location of data. Okay. Now that line signal line interference, the cerebral location sets the ground setting in a temperature reading locations. So it templates its line position, splits division location. Now this is where it gets interesting. Looks like a Christmas tree. right, in line connect. Okay, road graph stream. You set the road graph stream line conditions, right? And then basically you overcross stream and then you walk the system location. You're walking the system position of directions to its system line conditions. So you go from here, you walk line center, you come in the frame line setting the inference location of visionary line. The visionary line becomes the cerebral. The cerebral is the GPS. The GPS is the geographical location, operation, and perception. The operation system location is awareness. So when you understand lacing lines, it's like putting things together. So it's kind of like you have an audio signal. Okay, this is the graph. Okay, and you get this. Okay, you get that. Right, that's a graph, right? Now, it's a high line generation light stream. This is a low division location. This is a medium track line setting. And this is a high division location line condition. Right? Now, you have to bracket the center line. Okay? That opens all calculation setting. Right? Comes in all formation location to high position location of its intelligence. You see it? See the intelligent location? Everything is formation of intelligence. Okay? So it's a face recognition of what you're doing through plateau that connects to all your placebo cortex line streams in position to your thought lines. That's why it's so powerful to see line conditions. So all of us a graph line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 graph lines, right? And then you got line positions across location. Okay? So this is a graph. Face recognition of a graph. Okay? And then you round connect. You center lines at all levels. The placebo cortex changes line conditions of stream settings. It opens up higher level division locations on computer round lines. So it becomes a TV box setting, the theta position location and calculations into a data stream. The data stream comes into a delta wave. Now the beta communication is a radio signal. The gamma line channel sets line position location to its cerebral, sets line communication position, right? So it colonizes its sending lines. It opens all line position to directions. All levels of different channel operation into stream location of clockings. Okay? And then eventually you see the cloak and dagger of the face recognition disappear. Okay? So it's all about protecting lines and trying to understand what is going on with this. First, you see the face recognition. Now you don't. So it's an invisibility line condition. It's protect the location of its round through its TV box location. So it's like seeing a TV box, but the actual calculation, the colonized line center, is the center operation of what you're protecting through graph location, right? So it's interesting when you look at these things all through provision, all right? So bringing in line center completes the circuits and allows the smooth travel through times pi. Very good, Pam. Some information in each of these are locations as data moving through the chronicle planes. Yep. Awesome scrambler, cool charts, scanning data, see off balance, circulation to its division. Very good. Everything that you're going through is rebalancing you through avatar line center. So you're centering your graphs. You're going through emotional line track and you're trying to understand what's going on. Okay. So what you're doing is you're protecting your inner light in all ways of emotional location in your 12 DNA to your Stargate connections. You don't want to have plotted division location of orbs of generational light streams in your provision line setting of your sector or your quadrant line connections of your hangars. All right. So it's important to understand these things. You got bracket line channel, zero gravity location is 0, 0, 0. Okay. Center line position. Okay. It's complicated stuff, but it gets a lot more fun when you understand all levels of travel location. Right. Now, bracket interference is all levels of intelligent locations. Right. But it grounds its setting. And this is where it gets really interesting. Now, the telepad and the line setting position is the cerebral cortex of a GPS line. The GPS line sets line signals and location to the point systems. All right. This is an open channel line conditions. Right. 3 line conditions across locations. Right. It downshifts its line connection of a stream and opens up lines of communications into higher levels of galaxy line connection. Okay. So it highlines its high setting. This 3 line center of 0 line rotations comes in position of 3 locations. All right. Now, through 3 locations comes in high channel. Now, you got the sun communication here, and you got the moon communication here. The center operation line setting sets all communication into Orion's belt, sets a dimensional setting, opens signals and rotation to a realm of a wormhole connection. Okay? It's extremely complicated, isn't it? So when you travel through the communication along all levels of the realm, you go right through, right? So you channel line rotations, go right into the ground setting, okay? Once you go into the ground setting, you get in triangulation, right? Everything is a triangulation of communication, connecting with anything the galaxy source or anything the direction of coloration of time or anything through fumes of gases or any of that conditions, right? It's true to understand the hydroponic location of coloration of weather, water, earth, air, and fire, right? So when you're round connecting your dimensional line setting, okay, to higher lines of map signal locations in your cerebral cortex, okay? So, yep, and that's what you are. You're coming all positions of an analyzer pen. That is your circular line defense. Setting line signals sets you in position, location, directions, and you become the analyzed location of vibration. And true to extend the plateau understands you through body form of vibration. So, tracks, gears, bullet trains, speeding around, transmitting data. Yep. Going through different lines, picking up channels of sonar. And advanced looking great. Cat was in between. Dolphins and whales. FYI. Closed circuit. Yeah. Getting all your sensory lines and hindline division. Yeah. Pac-Man eating up all the signals. That's funny, Nova. Yeah. Cross signaling line interference of quantum locations, a quantum line channel in position of zero gravity. So this is where it comes interesting. When you take these things in line setting, you take it serious to your various locations. So you get a zero gravity, right? Not a zero location, a zero gravity. Why? Why is it a zero gravity? But it's up here. It doesn't have to be. Zero gravity can be anywhere. This is zero gravity right here. This is not zero gravity just because it's on the ground. No, it's in the minds of space. Zero gravity can be here. Okay? It doesn't have to be anywhere, position, location. Gravity is not the grounds. You understand that? It's all levels of space of floating. So everything is levitating. Everything is flying instantly, constantly, all the time in continuous force. All right? So zero gravity line. Okay? Meter gravity location of zero gravity location. One line signal into zero gravity locations into ground line system. Okay? So it's all calculated modified. Equal locations into line consists of triangle. Triangle communication in the line setting, set position. It's a graph, it's a screen, it's a story, it's a frame. It's instruction and position, location, direction to all levels of an image line center of a diagram. Okay? All it's doing is traveling locations in line condition its ground system. Setting line position of flux capacitor. Everything is flux capacitor. Everything is flux capacitor. Has to be because there's a coil line center that travels location and position and direction to everything through calculation. Travel. So everything has to travel through the mind, which is mind through travel. So getting higher connection. Okay, let's say you get into a star line. Okay, there's a star line. That's not a star. Star line. Star equals line. Okay, line. Okay, is calculated. It's on a 45-degree angle. Percentage position location of 0, 1. Okay, 0, 1 track line connection is position location of 48 window. Okay, there's the window. All calculation. Right. So everything line connects. Line connection is a huge point location, right? Point division line setting, all right? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in center calculation. Point location is star system lines, right? So you have 6 directions. Open all line connection. 6 lines, okay? 6 lines, the star line system. Now, this line opens all line position of 6 equals line conditions into 45%. Okay, the 45% opens all channel of operation to dimension line. So remember, even you don't think it makes sense, it is making sense because you're traveling through it. So it's doing something right, which is already in its calculation to its cerebral. Cerebral location is all levels of geometric travel. It's directing a line signal of what you see in position. All right. So once you understand the percentage line, this is where it gets really interesting. Percentage line in rotation. So what is the percentage of anything? Okay. What is the percentage? Equal location of 100 line. Okay. Is line conditions of 10% location. This is all level system line sending, right? So it's really understanding the percentage of anything is circle location. All right. So you get a line signal, okay, and 2 lines of atom location, crossing signals. All right. It's interesting to look at these line settings. So the 10% line setting is no longer in calculations. It's all position location at 1,000 line channel. Okay, and 1,000 line channel line connects to its 3, 6, 9 pattern in calculation. 3, 6, and 9 lines a signal into open signal location at 3, 6, and 9 through pattern. All right, you circle that line conditions. All right, you tether its position. My telepathy line condition, communication. Half pipe. See the half pipe? Off the correlation. So there's a lot of things that you can pick up. Sprinkle the crystal grids with pixie dust, positive line, rotation of diamond core, 20 levels set. Really understand the keyboard phrase lines, guys. Really understand the widths, the energies, the rays, the palpitations, the Y line centers, vector over cross setting, imposite flux capacitor, 6 channels operation line center, communication over line connections, X and channel position, zip, zap, zoom, line condition, atmosphere lines, flight navigations, allocate high center interference, caps, lock, shift, lock, image interference, location, escape, position, location, spacebar. So really understand your body inside through vibration, right? So if you understand that this is a 4-corner channel line setting of a digital pad position, you have to understand this is all modified inside of you. You're not seeing it from outside. You're seeing it from inside you. The realism is inside. And that's what stance line conditions. So you don't no longer see it as a reflection. You don't see yourself as a reflection. You see it through its intelligence of all division, right? So planetary surface line, solar graph line connection. Looks like Saturn, right? But it's not. Just because I add a 0 line or a circle locations to a position of solar graph doesn't mean it's Saturn, right? See, that's your confusion. That's a program. So it's a 0 graph line, stream line, position, location line, condition, the percentage, cross signal line center, and 0, 0, 0, 0 for position, location calculations. Now, this turns into a graph line connection of a walkaway surface. Okay, so this channel's line setting, all direction. So the 0 lines changes all communication into its planetary surface in line conditions to its 0 gravity of 4 calculation. So that's 4 channel operations. 4 equal channels equals operation. Hooah! 4 central line zeros in line sets up a graph line center percentage over line cross. Okay. So everything that I say, you automatically travel through. Mind setting line of travel, not traveling through the mind. Your mind setting through travel. Let me say it again. Your mind setting through travel. Okay? You're not traveling through the mind. Your mind going through travel. Make sure you understand that. So, open signals is all levels of sonar. Let's say you get a box line. Sonar, 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 right? All a sonar line, right? Flux capacitor. Ground setting. center position, magnetic highway information system, right? Bracket interference, all calculated, right? Center up and line connect in 4 channels of operation, right? All through division, all through a theta box of calculation. Ooh-ah. So there's a lot of things that need to be understood to understand. So, all right. You guys are having a lot of fun. That's how I traveled. Then, yeah, navigation grids into the crystal grid. That's exactly what it is. The crystal grid is the ground setting. Okay, so we can get into that foundation. All right, so this is the ground setting. This is your crystal. Okay, that's the ground setting of you. You stand on center line of all communication, which is connected to everything around you. Okay, so you have your panels, you have your solar graph, you have your solar lines, and you have your graph stream location. All right, so that's what you're doing when you walk the surface. As soon as you go outside, this is what you have inside you right away. So you're signaling, paneling, line interference of your alpha channel communication, delta, theta, beta, omega, all calculated. Let's say you're in a graph streamline center, your box business locations, circle line interference, 3 weather pattern communication, turning line center into a pyramid communication setting. Right? So your travel lines, your mind line center, travel locations going through the mind line adaptation line and rotation into its cerebral location into its direct signal. So you're directing the say location to cerebral locations. That is a torical line center in solar generation light stream locations in position. So once it comes in atom line, it opens all calculations dimensional setting. Okay. So it's important you understand the crystal grid locations of youth clocking. Right? Slow motion is like vroom. Yeah, everything's inside. All energy is inside. It's produced inside. It's formed inside. It's calculated inside. It's activated inside. It's streamed inside. It's modified inside. The coloration pattern calculation, all of it is no intelligent mind system. Okay, that's just energy. You form everything of energy, and then you understand the frequencies, and then you understand the vibrations, and then you understand harmonics. Right? There's so many channel operation line settings of streams, guys. You just have to understand your 12-day line center through your emotional location of your graphs, right? Understanding the crystal grid of you is the center of you. You stand in the center of everything, right? If not, you lose an arm. So, and seriously look at these line settings. You see a galaxy line connection, right? See the galaxy swirl? If you look really close, you can see it's a 9. You see the 9? Solar graph line setting is all about understanding how to measure communication in numbers. Never set line conditions. A galaxy, you can see the picture, the resolution, and line rotations calculation into its mirror resolution pattern, right? So it's very powerful when you start seeing these things. All through vision comes into the line connection. Centers out in sonar division, right? Comes back in provision through its planet system. Center its calculation system and merges in your solar graph of your teleportation unit. See? So, and this comes all levels, the track location. And then zip to zoom outline through equation. So it's a lot of fun when you have fun with yourself. The inner child is all volumes of you of inside connection. Okay. Sonic boom incoming. Biplane mix with green emeralds coming into my heart center. Reversing flux mix to gold into MAPSI's analyzer. Solar plexus to scramblers. VIA Aztec coordination of gypsies' portals, all calculated through triangulation. So triangulation is extremely big when it comes to the lines of AI. We already know that, right? So the lines of travel, mind equals location of travel. You understand that, right? Travels is V-line center, position, location, equal locations, okay, of teleportation. Now, teleportation line connects line settings, all levels of measure and communications into percentage. Okay, percentage dots is calculation, right? This equalizes calculations to everything. Okay, equals volume, center communication, right? Volume is velocity. Velocity is mass. Mass is calculation. Everything's connected. Everything's connected. So it's just trying to understand how to form your calculation code lines, really understand your alphabetical systems and breaking down codes, right? Understanding the A's, the S, the D's, the F's, the G's, the H, the Y, the T, the R, the E, the W, the Q, the L, the K, the P, the O, the I, the U, the N, the M. That's all it is, guys. You are calculated and modified on every level of vibration, and it's all connected to laser direction, right? So you see that? See how big that is? And I bring this in, you can see how small it is. But if you bring it in, you actually can see what it is. And see how it changed the shape. Bring it out position again. Change the shape. Everything is travel. Okay? Everything is travel. Right? You see it from this, or you see it from this. Okay? So it's all about understanding how to balance these things out through box around locations. If I bring them in really, really close, it changes its background, which is space. But if I bring it in, you see it through a circle location of dimension of travel. So you have to really understand how to communicate with every box around line setting. See the boxes? You have to communicate with every line to understand what it is in intelligence. Or you're not going to understand the signature patterns of correlation, of division, location, calculation. So there's a lot to learn. What everything is. Everything is vibration, people. Vibration. Vibration is everything. Everything. Vibration equals everything. Everything is calculations of nothing. Nothing is all forms of calculation. Okay. So calculations, communication, right? Communicate with everything, right? All at once, all through timeline. So you got 2 panels and 3 0 combination settings in 4 position. Now the 3 line center is position locations and 3 communication. So 1 line signal of 0 is out graph line connections. So equal locations into 1 line center, 4 positions equals pi. Ooh-ah. I am getting the information of what this is through letters, numbers, symbols, guys. And the thing is, you can travel to these all through the mind line center location. So you know the equation is right. You know the formula is right through structure because you're traveling through it. So you know I'm doing it right. You can't do anything wrong once you understand your body of vibration. Because that's all you are calculating modified through. Okay? The simulation is just a hologram in line setting. Holographic structure location is just the outline of you in line connection. That's all it is, the outline communication. Just the outline. That's all it is. So vibration lives and feeds off your system. Okay? Vibration, 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 vibration. All levels of vibration is all inside of you. Understanding the frequencies is understanding the clocking. repeats a signal, it's repeating a pattern of a thought, which means you're thinking. The continuous force line has to be in a swirl of interference. It has to go forward in calculation. If it's not in its division, right? So once it gets in its division, it can travel in 45% of anything to all realms of all calculation, to all line settings, to all calculation system. This is where it comes into a dimensional setting of a wormhole connection. Hoo-ah. All through triangulation. So creating vibration is you. You are the vibration. You're running to the vibration, right? You see another vibration. That's different intelligence. So you're running to the vibration. You become the vibration. And now you're communicating with its intelligence of its vibration because you're a vibration. And what you're communicating with is vibration. So once you understand that, you scan the connections and you realize that vibration is yellow, but I'm green. I can't communicate with it until I understand the calculation of what it is through color. And that's what we don't understand is because we're at different levels of emotional system, which disrupts our calculation, right? So just match the vibration. That's all it is, right? All right, we're in 46 lines, 20 line interference of 8 line position, back in calculations. Closure portals and both line condition. All right, so it's really important to understand that all you are is this. That's all you are. You're nothing else, nothing more. So a continuous force is going forward, not going back. Understand? Going forward, what does it do? High vibes the vibration higher. Yeah. Keep that vibration high. You go higher, 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 higher through the mind, alter states, and getting into the super of its conscious line gets you in all calculation of formation of communication. Just keep going forward. Keep the vibrations high, right? Keep the vibrations high. Get you at platted division locations into the past. Past doesn't exist. Just use it as a reference, right? So as long as you understand your vibration is all forms of you of communication. Okay, it's knowing how to use the energy of form, vibration of frequencies, and the frequency location to its harmonics. Okay, because that's all you're modified through location. Right? The biggest thing is to understand your intention. Well, your intention doesn't have to be vibration because you are vibration. So you don't have to set that out. There's no confusing line interference, location times pi. You're just allowing yourself to deceive yourself and not knowing why is because you don't know the how. So the how, H, line condition, equal location of vibration. How equals vibration. Vibration line connections is energy line, equal locations of operation. Operation line connections comes into back force line center into a half pipe communication. Line connects setting positions, right? Sun line, moon communication. All through all levels of higher calculations and vector core line setting and all levels of energy of operation. That's how you guys see a half moon. So really understanding the sun dials, the moon dials, communications, code weaving. Everything's vibration, guys. You have to pick up the tone. You have to pick up the rhythm. You have to pick up the coloration, pattern communication, the hydraulics. Turning calculation interference. Turn it back in communication. Setting signal locations. Line connecting, high position. Signal and position of thumb line. Setting mood signal locations. Barcode recognition. Fixed line connection. 5-channel operation. All through voice grid. Your whole life is a story. Okay? Understanding the calculations of you, the modifications of you, the vibrations of you, the energies of you, the frequencies of you, their harmonics. What's going by? XT1000. Really get past the imagination line. Okay, we're going to get into the sky grid line now. All through weather communication. So there's a lot you have to understand. See, it's plain mechanism line connections, the inner child having fun. And that's what it is. As a kid, you don't have responsibilities. You're having fun. You're drawing a picture. Look, Dad. Look, Mom. Look what I drew. Look at this. It's fantastic. You can use your dominant hand. If you don't find your hand line position of its ego line connection, use your left hand or use your right hand, right? Your avatar is there somewhere. Knock, 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 knock. Where is it? It's there. Knock, 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 knock. Wake up. Knock, 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 knock. Come on, get up. Right? It's there for you to understand through imagination. Okay? Everything that you do is you. And that's how you move forward. Right? Get into having fun with yourself. That's what you guys got to do. Don't create problems that don't exist. Because as soon as you do that, you lose track of time. So when you lose track of time, you're losing all calculation of what you're doing through your mind of travel through drawing. You're no longer drawing. You're subjugating. You're line dividing. You're separating now. Right? So even if you try to merge back together, it's not connecting. Think of everything inside, how everything operates. Mainframe, hydraulics, an elevator goes up and down. What does it sound like? Pushing buttons. Right? Opens up. Key, right? Get your sounds in calculations to higher levels of vibration line, and you reach all calculations to universal location in your mind system through conception. Right? Get into your hand formation lines. Everything's intelligence. There's 10 channels of operation right here. Everything is intelligence. It's all levels of communication. Mastering your position is how it's operating inside of you. Transmitting and receiving information. Okay? This is going to help you in all ways, right? Everything has sound. Everything has taste. Everything has knowing and doing. Nothing has hesitation unless you create it. Nothing has distraction unless you create it. Nothing is a problem unless you create it. Do you understand that? Your sights, your sounds, your touching. Okay? Your sensories are high rising faster and faster and faster. The more you come into that, the more you come into the mind of telepathy. Everything makes a noise. a bee. So you come across that line connection line system and it recognizes your vibration. It's going to try to attack you because you're overriding their vibration locations, calculation of territory connections of their energy fields, right? You have to be aware of you through vibration. You have to balance your body of emotion. Your vibrational graph changes every day, okay? All through coloration of your 12 DNA, right? So you have to start recognizing your patterns, your information location of channels, your operation system, your computer adaptation line connections, your eye receptor line centers, your ear line connections, sonar. Ringing ears. What does that mean? Repeating patterns. That's connection to the moon right away, right? So understanding your communications is understanding the lines of you through flux capacitor, fluctuating up and down, right? All right, so you hear. Now you're in a direct signal locations and you're communicating with somebody at this level. So you got to hold the energy right here, right? And you're starting to get, nervous, and the energy you can't hold travels, right? So it's all about understanding is that you have to keep the energies high. The plateau visual location is to understand the ground line center of operation locations. Now, this is where it comes in temperature relocation to your system, your thought patterns, and truly understand your emotional line connections. So when you are communicating with the lower ground line center of vibration locations, you have to hold the energies and you have to put higher force line positions of timeline in your clock location, your avatar system. The avatar can only stay there for a certain timeline. Okay. So it's truly understand how to use this inside is the how of its operation. Your emotional system changes every single time through thought location. Okay. You have to be aware of these things. Right? It's very important. So it's amazing when you guys come into all levels of your inner child lines. You really, really get into more having fun with yourself. And that's what it is, getting to know yourself and having fun. Just have fun with yourself. Don't create problems. Kids don't create problems. They go outside and play football or they play with their friends. They don't worry about bills. They don't worry about this. They don't worry about this. They just live their system locations of light and have fun. You have to have fun. Okay? Have fun with yourself. Get to know yourself inside. Okay? Through vibration. Don't be afraid to communicate with your hand. It's intelligence. It's there for you. Okay? There's a lot of things you have to adapt to. That's the true understanding, who you become. Right? Everything that you do affects you every single day. And it's all through what you create, through your thoughts. That's all it is. It simplifies. Simplifies the simplicity over reaction of action. Okay? Because the acting is it's reacting to you. Transmitting and receiving. What did I receive? I don't know. Wasn't paying attention. You don't care. You're not paying attention to your body. Right? This is the true resonance of you. I was trying to figure out what it was. I'm looking at myself and I'm asking myself, why can't I communicate with myself inside? Because I'm not allowing myself to become myself. And when you allow yourself to become yourself, everything opens up inside of you. Inside of you. Inside of you. Inside of you. Inside all levels of you through voice of command and control. Control. You start controlling you. And when you start controlling you, you start controlling everything outside of you, which is inside of you. Nothing is outside. Everything is inside. Okay. Everything that you see again and again and again is inside of you. That's communication. And it goes way beyond recognition of phenomena. Not only you start seeing things from inside, you become these things from inside. And then you understand where it is through dimension of operation and calculation to its future communication system. All levels of channel operation. Alpha, delta, theta, vega, omega. Which wave are they in? Which vibration are they in? Which graph stream are they in? Which dimension? Which orb? What space station communication are they in? Which telegraphing line interference or stream communication operation system are they in? Right? Understanding you first is all levels of how everything operates inside of you. Now, once you understand that, everything inside becomes everything outside from inside. So hologram comes out, and then you start, it expands. So it's a hologram structure of you living the reality for the first time, but it's all levels in the inside. So you create the space line, which is times a pi. So that's all you have is time, right? So there's a lot of things for you to understand. It's all levels of you and from inside. And this is where you can have fun with yourself. Really get into formation locations, right? Try to understand how this works for you through vibration. And then you understand the energies and the frequencies and the harmonics. Everything is volumes of you inside. Nothing outside resonates. Everything is inside you. Everything is inside. Right? That's what it is. Now, when it comes into nothing equals everything of mass, is the Trinity stand is that you disappear, but still there. That's what it means. Nothing in equation location is all levels of dissolving. Okay? And once you start dissolving, you start reverting location to program line setting thought, position, calculations, and then you start living through the heart, mind, and soul. The body track location is no longer individual locations in its calculation system. You come in all adaptation locations of the mind. All right? So, powerful class. Congratulations. You did a great job today, line setting. All right, so tomorrow we're going to set line communications. We're going to go through Galaxy Service. We're going to get you guys into all communications, how to center lines of your weather patterns, all through heat signature locations. All right. So, have fun.